Riddle me this. Who's the box office champ of 1995?
Your entrance was good. His was better.
Who's that man claiming to be 007? And why did so many celebrities spend so much of the year in court?
In the house, in the house, in the house.
The answers to those questions and more will be revealed on E! News Year in Review.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kathleen Sullivan.
We have a lot of work ahead of us here.
A whole year.
I'm Steve Kometka. We've got a year's worth of entertainment news coming at you, so stick around. On the Chinese calendar, 1995 was the year of the pig. No argument here. At the box office, it was the year of the bat, however, although Babe did do pretty well. It was also the year of animation, The Astronaut, and The Pet Detective. But Amy Powell saw every movie this year, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, so I'll let her tell the story.
Your entrance was good. His was better.
Batman Forever made some entrance. With Val Kilmer behind the wheel of the Batmobile, it raced to a record-setting opening day for ticket sales. And by grossing $183 million at the box office, the latest episode in the Batman saga became the #1 movie of the year.
The difference? Showmanship.
The year's other top films were the real-life story of Apollo 13, the animated feature Pocahontas, the special effects resurrection of Casper, and another sequel, the action thriller Die Hard with a Vengeance.
This is a bad idea.
But busting the box office came at a cost. Warner Brothers spent $100 million Bat-bucks to make Batman Forever, a trend that seemed to catch on at all the major studios. Filmmakers actually spent more collectively on summer movies than ever before. Judge Dredd cost $80 million, Die Hard with a Vengeance $75 million, and Waterworld a whopping $175 million.
While there's some pictures that may eventually break even, hey, no one in show business is, interested in breaking even.
And while many of those pricey films did more than break even, others could barely draw an audience.
Judge Dredd, like another movie, Tank Girl, which also tanks, was based on a comic strip character that no one in America has ever heard of. So you're starting from a premise that's extremely shaky.
Or take the slew of cyber movies.
Computer's your life, huh?
Yeah, that's exciting phrase.
We have movies like The Net and Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic. And Virtuosity and Strange Days. They're all about this subject, but no one went to see any of them if you look at the box office numbers.
Cheated on my husband one time. I didn't know I could be arrested.
Another subject that never took hold at the box office? Sex. The hype over the sexual thriller Jade and the NC-17 rated Showgirl went mostly unnoticed. But in a year when filmmakers seemed to be out of touch with their audiences, Hollywood still had reason to celebrate.
Martin Landau, Ed Wood.
The Golden Globes once again proved a great litmus test for the Oscars. The foreign press agreed with the film industry in many of the major categories.
I think Forrest would say, I went to the Academy Awards again, and they gave me.
Hanks won the Oscar for the second year in a row. Forrest Gump took home trophies for Best Film and Best Director for Robert Zemeckis. And Jessica Lange won for Best Actress in Blue Sky.
I was so thrilled that I won because this is the first time in these 6 nominations that my children watching were old enough to really realize what this meant.
And in the supporting roles, Martin Landau was awarded for Ed Wood and Diane Wiest for Bullets Over Broadway. As always, E! rolled out the red carpet for wall-to-wall coverage of the big event with a live pre-show to the Academy Awards. And E! brought you the best of the year in film with live premieres of Batman Forever, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, and Toy Story. Not to mention just about every other premiere in Hollywood. Our network traveled the globe to bring home all the major entertainment events. E! went to the south of France for the Cannes Film Festival.
Most serious film festival in the world, and the
craziest, schmooziest Mardi Gras, or, this crazy film Mardi Gras going on at the same time.
To the north of France for the Deauville Film Festival.
This really is a festival to enjoy pictures and meet the people.
On location in Puerto Rico on the set of the action thriller Assassins.
Love you!
And to London for a secret meeting with the new 007, Pierce Brosnan.
It's certainly going to change life one way or the other. I think just because it's a very high-profile role.
1995 was certainly a breakout year for Pierce Brosnan. And the same could be said for a few other hard-working actors and actresses. Sandra Bullock's roles in While You Were Sleeping and The Net brought her new popularity. And John Travolta's Oscar nomination for Pulp Fiction and other high-profile parts proved the comeback kid was back in a big way.
This is as good as it gets.
And Jim Carrey wowed us again and again with his quick wit and high energy.
It's just way past what I conceived, what I dreamed of, and I just it's an amazing thing.
But with the high price of fame came the high price of employment. Carrey's asking price shot up to $20 million per picture. Travolta's was $21. Demi Moore and Julia Roberts were pushing for $12 million. And Sandra Bullock was campaigning for $10.5.
So what's the word?
But money can't always buy happiness in Hollywood. Just ask Kevin Costner. His much-anticipated Waterworld came in way over budget with a price tag of $175 million and managed to stay afloat at the box office. But while worldwide revenues are respectable, Costner couldn't escape that sinking feeling.
People ask me very often, would you do it again? I said, no, I wouldn't. And I mean that. I don't care how much money Waterworld makes.
Other films also had their brush with controversy. Take the Disney feature Powder, a story about a teenage outcast with supernatural powers. It was directed by convicted child molester Victor Salva, a fact that became known only after the victim, once a child actor, went public.
I figured whatever he was having me do was perfectly okay.
And then there's Money Train, the Woody Harrelson Wesley Snipes vehicle that went off track when two men tried to copycat a fire in a New York subway token booth. The real-life stunt killed a transit worker and further outraged crusading Senator Bob Dole.
The American people have a right to voice their outrage, and they can do so not through calls for government censorship, but by derailing the money train at the box office.
But that wasn't the first time that Dole has scolded Hollywood. He took the industry to task for what he called its excessive use of sex and violence in a speech last May. His remarks drew a lot of discussion, but the reaction within the Hollywood community was mixed at best.
The films are way too violent.
As far as the family values thing is concerned, I think I could teach them a thing or two.
But the tide could be changing. Dole's critics and supporters point to the popularity of movies like Casper and Forrest Gump. The bottom line in Hollywood is both sides still disagree on the principal points and will likely continue to do so. In Los Angeles, I'm Amy Powell for E! News.
Joe Esterhaus and Family Values. What a year it was.
Screenwriter for Showgirls, yes. The upcoming Oscar race seems to be wide open this year with no Forrest Gump-type sweep looming on the horizon. Sense and Sensibility and Leaving Las Vegas have won early critics' awards.
Nicolas Cage, Emma Thompson, Jennifer Jason Leigh have already picked up acting awards. Plus, Emma Thompson has also won several Best Screenplay awards for Sense and Sensibility.
Right, she adapted that from the Jane Austen book. If she wins both the Best Actress and Best Screenplay Oscars, it would be a first.
Yeah, it's not going to be Joe Esterhaus.
Coming up on E! News Year in Review.
The heartbreaks, the romance, the blessed events, and everything else that just happened to Roseanne.
Here, and that's great. The mother of one of my children is here, and that's wonderful.
1995 was a turbulent year for celebrities. It seemed to be open season on the paparazzi. An unusual number of celebrities got divorced, and an even more unusual number of famous men got in trouble by looking for love in all the wrong places. Greg Agnew reviews the year's most sensational headlines.